Hey everyone, and welcome back to I Love You, Colonel Sanders. And alright, let's just jump into this. You wake on day 2, and were those hearts there before? Maybe, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. An attempt to process the wild visions you had. Were they memories or premonitions? And then there was that secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably just because he already trusts you so much. Well, obviously, I'm very trustworthy. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with the spork monster, she launches into a story of her own. Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might be, I think I might like Pop. Like him? Like? I know, it sounds like it's moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him. Like him. We got to talking after class, and he's actually a totally sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders enlisted in the army when he was only 3? What? Not only that, but he's founded a special unit of super soldiers who all wear the same hats just because he put on a hat one time and thought it looked cool. But Colonel Sanders doesn't even wear a hat. He wears a ribbon tie. Either way, maybe it'd be best if you took it slow with this new boy, like I am with Colonel Sanders. You and Colonel Sanders, the coolest guy in the school? The most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School Academy for Learning? You're a thing now? We've definitely connected yesterday. You sure did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be into you, I guess? Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You are great. I obviously am great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? Your bestie's eyes lights up. A secret ingredient? Yeah, I just said that. A special secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing. So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in the botanical garden where I was wandering. This can't be good. He told me all about his passion for spices. Secret spices! The man even gave me some to show what he meant, and said it was a powder created from a super duper rare dried flower petals, and that if I did him a big favor, I could have some of my own. Please, Miriam, don't tell me. So I filled my suitcase with them and brought him home. He was so nice. He even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later, when I cooked with him, a very strange feeling came over me, and the flavor was unlike anything I'd ever tasted. I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here. Whatever. Anyhow, we both share an intense interest in cooking, so we stayed in touch. You know, like pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about the new spices. Well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe, and besides, I only know the one ingredient, so I doubt it'd be much use to anyone. Please, please, please! I know it would mean the world to me. No one has to know I came from you or Colonel Sanders. What do you think? Should you protect Colonel Sanders' secret or share it with your bestie? Make up a fake ingredient because we promised we wouldn't tell anybody. You quickly think of a fake ingredient name. I don't know. How about it was I have new. I know, it sounds some kind of witch potion, but what can you do? I am new? Wow! Her eyes light up, imagining such a thing, and you figure that you've satisfied her curiosity and she'll move on. However, she immediately turns around and does some thumb typing on her phone that you can't quite see. That's probably not good. Before you can ask her for confirmation, or before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in, cherry blossom petals fill the air, It's Colonel Sanders! On a horse. It's Colonel Sanders. He's arriving at school. Stand back and admire his majestic glory. Colonel Sanders' horse is truly a thing of beauty. Without ever acknowledging that he's being watched, he does a short horse dance before dismounting with a flourish. Then he slaps the beautiful creature gently on its rear, sending it running free into the countryside. You are so struck by the sight of him that you lose your ability to speak coherently. Oh, I didn't realize anyone was watching. Don't worry, he knows his way home. You attempt to compliment Colonel Sanders, but the words don't come out exactly right. What a horseful beaut you have. I mean, what a horseful beaut you have. Dang it, that's what I just said. Being a good friend, Miriam attempts to cover for you. Oh, jeez! Just gets really nervous around people they like. What? This isn't helping. I mean, they got food poisoning and they were up all night. It was gruesome. You should have seen it. She gives you a wink and a smile as if to say, situation handled. Can't blame a girl for trying. And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you can see your two rivals, Ashley and Van Van. They're doing something bad, and by the way, they're hiding. You know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting bad what the fuck? Like counterfeiting recipes bad, experimenting with restricted ingredients bad, summoning a demon bad? You try to get a peek over at Van Van's hulking shoulder. Every time I see this guy, I just think it's JoJo characters. He sees you coming. Whoa there, little one. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this. Why don't you bake like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? Tell them to stop acting immature or act like you're not interested in them, but really try to get a closer look. You sit near the rivals, but leave your back turned to them. You even hear Van Van muttering something that sounds a bit like a magical spell. However, he notices you eavesdropping. You try to cover your tracks and improvise an excuse. It's time for class, and you're distracting the rest of us who want to learn. Now you've upset them. Oh, and you're the Emperor of Cooking, are you? You make the rules? Ugh. I'm not sure you know a good meal if you... Fuck. I'm not sure you know a good meal if it ate you. Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary skills. It takes creativity and... I don't know this word. Panache. And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil. You definitely get a look at what it was they were hiding, and you instantly recognize it. It's a book, like the one you found over It's a book just like the one you found after your encounter with the sport monster. That's the same book I found last night in the quad. Ashley immediately elbows Van Van, who hides the book behind his back. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom, and its contents are secret. You notice that they haven't just been studying the book. They've got Pop pinned to the wall, and they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his mouth. We're playing! Hee hee!
I'm a brick!
Before you can dig any farther, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Beep beep. Clink must be running late. He's in such a hurry as he rolls right over Van Van's meaty foot. Ooh. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts. You just watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Bzzz, whoomp. Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such language, not even from a stand mixer. Womp womp. No, your mother was a stand mixer. Well, I don't even have to voice that one. Van Van jumps to attack Clink, but Clink shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room. Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over for me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely, he must know that this is a ruse, right? Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena, at least. Or don't, honestly. What do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on. Maybe I can help you with your business plan? Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog. Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny legs are very, very tired. But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn. Rub his furry dog belly. He loves it. After he catches his breath, Sprinkle regains control of the classroom. Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken! You want to pay attention to the lesson, truly you do. Which is why, in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken who first signed their name. But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you. Well, cheese? Naturally, this appears to you to be a sample platter. Which item do you sample? I would drink the glass of water. You grab the glass of water and gulp it down. It's cool and crisp, like the purest snow melted by a mountain spring. Hey, that was mine! From my favorite toilet! You owe me $6. And you've got excellent taste. You think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention. We all make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you. Someday. Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim. And your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch will be prepared via timed competition cook-off. Oh, fuck. The level of theatrics with these two are off the charts. You know what? I don't know which one to pick, because honestly, I would just be like, no, thank you. But you know what? Let's do it. You're on. A bit of lunchtime competition, eh? Count me in, even if I have to wipe the tables with you fools before I set my lunch down. Then so be it. I'm no fool. You're the fool. Good one, Van Van. I like your gumptation, cheese. I'll be watching your performance. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkle steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness. Please put a stop to this madness. Now, students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sportsing court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least, not until we turn on the timer! Shit. Just then a huge red light blasts you in the face, flashing the words timer ready. That's what I'm talking about! Ow! I stand corrected. The hard way builds solidity and foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's an original quote by me, in case anyone was wondering. I hope its message lifts you to victory. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now it's my chance to shine. I will defeat you myself. You had his chicken, and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day one, and you're feeling like you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. That's wrong. What are you thinking, cheese? Get your head in the game! You're going to need to season the chicken before you cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. Tail wagging intensified. Now that you got some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. The state of mind is offers the most gratitude. That's right, you must never take the opportunity for granted if you hope to succeed. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. You better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Where does it come from? A small town where dreams are born! That's right, this is your shot, and you're not going to miss it. Ow! You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking. It is the sound of success. Sizzling. What's wrong? Don't make me get the spray bottle. You notice Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye. I believe in you, Cheese. He believes in me! I have to do it now. He's actually cheering you on. Which would be awesome, except he's watching you make you totally forget what you're doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoons of gravy would take to fill a dish of Victoria? Ah! I know. I don't even know which one I picked. Really struggling to keep up. The next station over, Ashley has already begun placing elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough into the stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps. Yikes! Bzz, pop. I know you love nothing more than seeing your fellow appliance utilized in a kitchen battle, but sometimes it means sacrificing the personal touch. Whirr. You might not have any hands, but Cheese does, and a good chef needs to be touching the dough to know when it's properly mixed. There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by going the easy way. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand into the mixture that rescue your dough before it's overmixed. Cheese, no! But you're not fast enough, and your hand gets stuck. It's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. What you often find is that the easy way can turn out much, much more difficult. Everyone stops with... Everyone stop what they're doing right now. This battle is over. It can't be. I was so close to finishing my dish. Sweetheart, look at your hand. You simply can't go on. Oh, that's too bad. And here I am with a completed dish ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default. No, it wouldn't be fair to compare the two on account of Cheese's injury. You see Sprinkles beginning to lick his doggy chops as he looks onto the dish. But I suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared? Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skipped straight to dessert. Under this white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights, taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and tells a story of excellence. I was going to ask Cheese to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid that pouring this creamer of delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind me lending your strong, steady hand. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on the top dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. I just fucking remembered about ice cream. I'll be right back. Inside, you'll find a delicate... What? Inside, you'll find a delicate fried cheese croquette. Atop a slice of honeycomb, ice cream, 2 ways, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry gelée. I don't even know if I said that right. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps not impressed, as he dips his finger into the chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley? Ah, you. As he places the sauce-covered finger into his lips, Ashley leans over and whispers something into his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. Your rage burns so intensely within your eyes that they burst into flames. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash.
My hair is on fire! My hair is on fire! My hair is on fire!
They also fall off your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester, perhaps forever. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried eyebrows, you run for the quad to be alone. Beautiful weather feels like an insult inside you as storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and have decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater this wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and the small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. I'll never be a master chef. Failure is a part of life, not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well, then think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you. Enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome, sure. I was born that way. But I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, and I failed as an obscenary, and I'm so bad at pronouncing words. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner to a gunfight. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together. Which is true now, but it hasn't always been that way. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changed his focus, you can see something ignite within him, a burning passion. Is he gonna fucking come out of his eyes and burn his eyebrows like mine did? One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure. It's honest and something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. Oh. Borgo? It is I know I said I wouldn't be back, but after the whole fight to the death thing, maybe you don't really want to see me anymore, but I just wanted to say that I was wrong to attack you, and I apologize. I know what it's like to always look over your shoulder. Monster problems, am I right? Oh, thanks, Borgo. Why is your name Borgo? I'm glad there are no hard feelings. Getting jumped by a giant creature in the dark of night can really rile a person up. I also want to apologize for the way I switched right into attack mode, though I didn't. I know that you're strong, and cooking school can put a person under a lot of stress. I actually used to go to this school. I wasn't always a spork monster, you see. I don't believe it. You were human once? Well, no. I was a golden retriever, but I was still a student until one day some mean kids with a magic spell book cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. A magic spell book? Precisely! And I had procured a copy for myself, but somewhere along the way, I must have lost it. If you find such a book, I beg of you, respect it? You're a powerful chef and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who cheat through the sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear, I will be there. It sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Cheese. together, I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway, and we can discuss. A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Oh, okay. Look at this! Why did he have a mustache as a baby? And he's already holding chicken. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you live such an amazing life. I read my own line wrong. Looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps? Now you've got him right where you want him. You should reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret just for you. You revealed one of his ingredients, so... You decide that you're ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw, which is hilarious because I hate coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens with the light of Colonel Sanders' Lux hideaway. Magnificent! Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but it seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please, make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize now that would be the perfect time to do some snooping! Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you figured that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. Or maybe it's the dumpster that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of a company they founded. Am I right? Am I right? Chicken. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real? Oh, taxidermy. It must have been important to Colonel Sanders when he was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." What is this one? A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. Upon further investigation or inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silver in color, it's actually made of spun silver? I want to see more of these. How much you want to bet this smells like fucking gravy? A scented candle, you pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool. Freshly starched collar. A piece of wood floating in a light summer of '69. No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's... What about out here? You gaze out the window across the vast lake and the mountain range beyond. Just then, the ghost of Student pops up. Are you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name now. It's... Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack, and the ghost of the student is swept out with the breeze. One of the frame photo shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them, although they're not in the picture. You look closely and see that there's a short description. I wonder who my friend Pete is. The photo appears to be of Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt. Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices? You take a closer look at a large urn sitting on a nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the description. It says, "Here lies the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside, you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any farther, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He's got a new dish that he's been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing this jacket. Aww. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say, it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket! You forgot to take it off! You decide that now is your moment to make a big move. Fess up and tell the truth. I'm cold. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I just got a little cold and thought this might warm me up. Colonel Sanders smiles and scoots close to the fireplace. It's warmed by the fire. Why don't you come a little closer? Suddenly, everything feels like it's moving too fast. Final exams are tomorrow. You should be thinking about what you're going to cook. I should be home studying. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Cheese? I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. At his house? Dream sequence! Wee! Alright, well, we will save the final day for another episode.